Welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Today's video is a preemptive strike at all of the bearish content you will see, mark my words, it's coming, in the months to year to come. And the reason this is going to happen is because everyone likes to have this I told you so moment, whereas when anything drops, goes stagnant for any reason, they like to come out and say like they told you this was going to happen, or, you know, predict it's going to be the crash of a lifetime, or predict that things aren't going to come back based on the red lines going down on the charts. And I wanted to make this video to set everyone's mind at ease, especially the newer collectors and newer investors who haven't been through this whole dog and pony show before. Because how it works is you'll click on one of those negative videos, it'll recommend, 10 other ones on YouTube, because that's where the algorithm works. You'll go down that rabbit hole, and by the end of it, you'll be wanting to sell everything you own and go live in a cave and live off the grid and hunt for food again. All right? And the truth is, anytime anything goes up 50, 100, 150, 200% in a short amount of time, it's always going to have a correction. It's going to have a cooling off period, a time of stagnation, a time when people take profits, and usually it will drop 5, 10, 15, sometimes 20, even 30%. But be at ease. This always happens in every single market. If you listen to real estate bears or stock market bears or any other bear out there, there's these people in every industry, they're going to say the same exact things. They're always predicting crashes. A broken clock is always right twice a day. And when that time comes, they like to come out of the woodwork and say, I told you so. You'll have sets like Paldea Evolved or 151 end up getting a reprint, and they'll say, I told you so. They can reprint this stuff whenever they want. It's all going to the ground. All you investors are stupid. You don't know what you're doing. So I wanted to make this video to clear everything up, to clear the air, let you know how to navigate the times that are coming so that you don't get scared into submission by the bearish voices. Before we get into all that good stuff, I gotta shout out today's video sponsor, which is someone from our very own community who created a startup app. It's built by collectors for collectors. Let's check it out. Pocketdex is an app built by collectors for collectors and can be downloaded on the Apple Store. You can track your entire collection knowing exactly how many cards you have and an accurate price estimation based on TCG Player and other Pokemon card selling platforms pricing. Not only that, there's a community aspect to the app where you can not only compare and contrast your collection with all of your friends, but also make trades right there on the app. And because of the estimated value tool, you can be sure to get a fair trade every time. So the app is 100% free to download, but if you want to sign up for the lifetime paid membership for the first 10,000 members, it's a $4.99 fee, but you get 10% off their entire store. They have over 500 cards already uploaded, and as you can see from this example, the cards are about the same price as what they're going on TCG Player for. So for the Charizard EX, you could actually get 10% off, sign up for the app, and still save money. So if you want to support someone in this community, make sure to check out Pocketdex. The link will be in the description and the comment section below. All right, guys, so let's start off with the singles, okay? I know I've given mixed signals when it comes to singles, but I want to clear things up. I do believe in singles for short-term plays. What I mean by short-term is this could be anywhere from a few weeks to a few months to even a few years. That's what I consider short-term. You can definitely make plays either buying and grading singles or buying into single raw cards or single graded cards and holding them for a period of time when the market is in favor, when there are moves that could happen in the near future or are happening, right? Which we've seen lately with the alt arts. Last year we saw it with the Sun and Moon tag teams and waifus. Before that we saw it with the XY cards. And so I've always believed in that. I've always also not believed in singles for good long-term investments. Now look, you can go back and look at all the top hit singles from Sun and Moon and XY, right? There are some that have stood the test of time, that have continued to rise and produce good returns. The majority of them, if you weren't a good picker and didn't pick the right cards, have not, right? Even some of the top Charizards, the top chases, have just not performed well over time. And because of this is why I don't like to play that game long term. Sealed product, you can look at all the sealed product. It has very predictable line graphs that go up and up and up and up, right? There's times of stagnation. There are times where things are up and down, but over time, sealed product has always risen. That's why I feel much more comfortable staying in sealed product, both short term and long term. And so when it comes to the alt arts, right? and other singles in your collection, what your goal needs to be if you want these long term is to not lose money, right? Is if these can at least hold the same value, I'm happy. I get to own something I love and not lose money. Now, there will be some that make money over time, right? Maybe the Moonbryon stands the test of time. It's one of those popular cards in modern history, and it continues to go off into the sunset. I mean, even though it went from $700 to $1,500 in a PSA 10, we still see less than 100 of the 11,000 population on the market. Meaning the majority of people, even though they doubled their money on it, they want to hold the card. They still love the card. Garatina, some of these others could stand the test of time and be good performers. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't mean all of the alt arts or all the top hits are always going to be great performers long term. And so long term, I look to sealed product. Now, there's going to be times of stagnation and even drops in sealed product, but usually it's not going to be as intense. You're usually not going to see these 20-30% drops in modern sealed the way you do in singles. And so I wouldn't expect sets like Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Lost Origin to go from the mid 200s and drop back down into the 100s. I just don't see that happening. I wouldn't expect Evolving Skies to be $500 a booster box again. Now, does that mean there's not going to be times of stagnation? No, we're seeing it right now, right? Chilling, Fusion, Evolving Skies, they've kind of plateaued off, right? They hit 700, 230, 240, 250 at their highs, and now they're kind of stagnating. They're starting to see some drops in prices, a little more supply hit the market. Why is this? Well, there's profit takers, people who want to take their profits, who got in early, maybe bought off Pokemon Center, been holding for a little bit. There's people who just can't hold, right? Some of these people literally bought for short-term plays because they can't afford to hold the stuff. They need the money for bills. That's a very real reality for some people in this hobby. And once all that product kind of gets, blown out on the market, all the people who wanted to sell have sold, all the people who bought in at these prices, they're not going to be selling at these prices, right? And so they're going to be holding, the long-term holders are going to be holding, and so before long, there's nothing left for the box to do but rise in price because there's less and less available, there's less and less people wanting to sell, and there's no more product hitting the market. And so that's why sealed product can do well over time. But of course, all these Sword and Shield Alt Art sets, I think they will reach a point where they do stagnate, they do give some back, they do trade in a range for a while that whole, flushing out of the market happens. But I don't expect any major downturns. I don't expect these sets not to perform well over time. So, with that being said, when these people start showing these graphs, which I'm sure they will in the future, of, oh my gosh, right, the big thumbnail with the red, going down, they're going to show, oh my gosh, guys, Evolving Skies, it's down to 650 a box. It was at 700, get out now. Get out now. Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, they're in the low 200s. They were at 250, 230. Get out now. Guys, just try to remain calm. Don't get emotional about this. Look back at the track record of every modern booster box, every booster box in Pokemon history. It's risen over time. It's had ups, it's had downs, but over time it rises in value because it becomes more scarce. So that's what I have to say about the boxes. Now, going into reprints, right? Same thing. You're going to have reprints come. People are going to say, I told you so. Pokemon can print this stuff whenever they want. All you guys are stupid. You're all going to lose all your money. You should have sold. You should sell it all. Right? I'm sure 151 English will get a reprint. I'm sure Paldea Evolved may get a reprint. There will be reprints come at some point, in my opinion. When that happens, prices will drop. Yes. However, depending on what price those items get to, in the meantime, depending on how big the reprints are, you don't know how low they're going to drop. Not only that, do you know how much money is sitting on the sidelines right now waiting for the reprints? Right? The main rhetoric in the hobby is, I don't want to buy in early. I don't want to have dead money sitting there. I am going to hold all this cash. When a reprint hits, I'm going all in, right? When Paldea Evolved gets reprinted, then I'm going to buy. So what will happen is, let's say Paldea runs to 140, 150 and then gets reprinted. Even if it drops down to 110, 100, 95 a box, right? Everyone and their brother is going to be rushing in to buy. And cases are going to be pouring off the market at that point because everyone's going to think to themselves, okay, the reprints come. It's now safe to move in. I want to get in. This could be my last chance. I want to have this stuff for the long term because, yes, I do believe in sealed product. And when that happens, you could see a slingshot effect of the prices rising right back, just like we saw with Silver Tempest and Lost Origin, because everyone kind of knows the pattern at this point, at least everyone who's deep enough in this hobby and does invest seriously. And so I don't think we're ever going to see this Chilling Reign style reprint where it gets reprinted and it sits at $80 or $79 for long periods of time. That was a different time, right? That was coming right off the pandemic boom, and the demand was starting to drop, and Pokemon dumped a ton of supply, kind of like we're seeing in Japan right now with Japanese product. They dumped a ton of supply at the wrong time, and that's why Chilling Reign sat. Scarlet Violet's strong, guys. Go look at the sales. All the sets are selling sealed. All the singles are starting to rise. All the PSA 10s are starting to disappear from the market. Scarlet Violet era is strong. There's money pouring into this hobby, and I do not expect a reprint to drop these and go stagnant the way that some of these sets did in Sword and Shield, because it's a different time. Just the same way that after the Japanese market and the supply glut works its way out and the Japanese market recovers, when they have reprints in the future, it's not going to do the things that the reprints are doing to it now, where they're dropping and staying so low and no one's buying them. It's because the bubble just burst. The same way the bubble burst in 2021 in English, the bubble burst in Japanese now, and that's why you're seeing the market struggle to regulate. So I wouldn't worry too much about Scarlet Violet reprints. Now, if you're asking, well, Alex, should I buy in right now then at 130 on Paldea? I think there's a better chance of getting a reprint than not getting a reprint. So if I didn't own it, I would probably say I would wait. There's always that chance you miss out and it never comes back down and we don't get a reprint, but those chances are slim, right? If we go to XY, very few sets didn't get reprinted. If we go to Sun and Moon, I think only Team Up didn't get a reprint. If we go to Sword and Shield, maybe Sword and Shield Base and Rebel Clash didn't get a reprint, but that was because the supply chain was all messed up during COVID. So I wouldn't really bank on not getting a reprint. I think it's a higher probability we do. So, there are some you can hold off on. I've always been an advocate of buying in the 80s or low 90s. I think even with reprints, those prices will remain good entry points if you do want to move in early. But this whole video, the whole point of this, guys, is if you haven't been through a market downturn or any types of, losing value in items or cards because you haven't been in this hobby long enough, you haven't collected, you haven't invested long enough anywhere, just understand these are very normal, right? Ups and downs are very normal. It doesn't matter if you're in Pokemon, the stock market, real estate, markets fluctuate. This in no way means if things drop 5, 10, 15, 20, even 30% on some crazy things, it's a market crash. But again, you will see the videos, you will see the bearish content creators emerge, you will see people calling it a crash, you'll see people telling you to dump everything, you'll see people telling you they told you so, all this good stuff. Just remember, this has happened plenty of times in every market, and every time with sealed product, with the stock market, index funds, with real estate, it's come back, it's corrected, it's risen, and it's higher than it's ever been, right? So I would expect the same thing to happen here. Again, this isn't to scare anyone, right? I'm not saying everything's going to drop. What I'm saying is the things that have seen those 100, 200% increases, yeah, if they do drop 5, 10, 15, 20%, whatever, it's a normalized correction. There's nothing to panic about. If you did get into the tops, and you're worried, unfortunately, there are always going to be winners and losers based on when you get in. But if you've been holding these things, if you've been holding Moonbryon since $700, now it's $1,500, do I think it's going to drop back to $7? I doubt it. If you've been holding Evolving Skies, since $100 a box or even $400 a box, do I think you're ever going to see $100 or $400 again? I doubt it. I very strongly doubt we're ever going to see that. And so just keep that in mind. Keep your emotions in check, especially if you're in this for the long haul. As far as the singles, if you were making shorter term plays on those and you don't want things sitting stagnant, you want your total collection or investment to grow the best it can over time, maybe you don't want to hold on to singles, but my whole goal with singles is to at least hold the value and not lose money and be able to collect things I like. And then when I make singles plays, again, they're short term. So yeah, I am moving out of some of my singles plays I made. But other than that, guys, market looks healthy. Everything looks strong. And I wouldn't be worried what happens in the next 6 months, a year, because I'm sure the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years are going to look a lot different. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Hope it helped ease your emotions. And I'll be back here in a new one soon. I'm out.